Okay, so we have an urgent information coming out. Ukraine issues military warning to Belarus. All right, so we're going to see what's going on here. We have more breaking news. US approves sale of cruise missiles to Ukraine. The munition will reportedly be delivered by the end of 2025. All right, we're going to see what's going on here. At the same time, Russia, the bear, they coming out and they saying, look, we need a legitimate leader of Ukraine because Zelensky is not the leader. We need someone to sign these documents if we want to end this biblical war. All right, so we don't know how all that's going to work, but it seems like these biblical war out there is not going to end. So Ukraine issues military warning. US is going to send some cruise missiles. All right, guys, before I start, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. And for those of you that want to help and support the channel, we do have the Cash App link and the PayPal link in the comments box and also the description box. Thank you so much for your support. We're going to start with this one here. Ukraine has told Belarus capital, Minsk, to stay away from its borders during upcoming joint military exercises with the bear to be held in Belarus. All right, so Ukraine is sending a message. The warning came ahead of the Zapad 2025 military drill scheduled for September 12th through the 16th. Man, everything's going to happen in September. You got so many things that's going to happen in September. Even the blood moon is going to happen in September. Belarus allowed the bear forces to use its territory when the conflict with Ukraine escalated in February 2022. Since then, the Belarusian leader, Lukashenko, has repeatedly said that Minsk has no intention of striking Kiev and will only resort to military action if his country is struck. In a statement on Friday, Ukraine's foreign ministry accused Belarus of aiding Moscow and issued a caution. We warn Minsk against reckless provocations and urge it to remain prudent, refrain from approaching the borders, and avoid provoking Ukraine's defense forces, Kiev's foreign ministry has said. Now, this year's military exercises, which include operations, drone warfare, electronic interference scenarios, and assault, will also feature the Orishnik intermediate-range hypersonic missile, according to Belarusian Defense Minister Viktor. First battle tested in November of 2024. In a strike on Ukraine facility, Russian officials have compared its conventional destructive power to that of a low-yield nuclear strike. So Orishnik is what they dropped back in November 2024 when Joe gave the green light to fire long range towards Russia. And boy, oh boy, that was the last time long range were fired at Russia. It says here, this is an important element for our strategic deterrence. As the head of state demands, we must be prepared for anything, the bear told the state news agency Belta. Now, he warned that NATO is using Zapad 2025 as a pretext for its own drills, citing Poland's deployment of 30,000 troops near Belarus as the main concern. Belarus, a close ally of the bear, signed a bilateral security treaty with Moscow in December of 2024. The agreement commits both countries to defend each other's sovereignty with all available means. In 2023, the bear deployed tactical nuclear weapons and short-range ballistic equipment on Belarusian territory, citing tensions with the West. Lukashenko has also called for the accelerated delivery of Orishnik system, which could be stationed in Belarus before the end of 2025. All right. Once again, Ukraine issues military warning to Belarus. They're going to be having that military drill exercise. And Ukraine is sending them a message. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Now we're going to go with the next one here. U.S. approves sales of cruise missiles to Ukraine. The sleeping giant has approved the sale of 3,350 air-launched ERAM cruise missiles to Ukraine. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. 3,000? 3,000 missiles? Hold on. The U.S. has approved the sale of 3,350 air-launched ERAM cruise missile to Ukraine. The Wall Street Journal reported on Saturday, citing two unnamed U.S. officials. That's crazy. Give me a second here. How much they go for? Give me a second here. How much they go for? The exact cost per is called the Extend Range Active Missile. Is not yet known. Okay, so it is described as a significantly low cost system compared to other high-end missile like the Tomahawk, aiming to rival the price of the Bearcat guided bombs. The current missile transfer of 3,350, that's the one, to Ukraine is part of an $850 million aid package. The question is, who's paying for that? Who's paying for it? That's a lot of money. And what do we get in return? Because at the very end, this is the sleeping giant tax money that is being sent to Ukraine. Again, sleeping giant's not the world police. The munition, which have a range of up to 280 miles. That's it, 280 miles? All right, so will reportedly arrive in Ukraine within 6 weeks. Wow. Several sleeping giant officials told the Wall Street Journal that Ukraine would have to seek the sleeping giant approval when using them. Hey, Donald, can I use this missile? You know why? Because they don't have the satellite. They don't have the button. While the U.S. Commander-in-Chief had criticized the previous administration, Joey, for its unconditional aid to Kiev, and that's very true, he said earlier this week that Ukraine has no chance of winning unless it is capable of striking targets in the Bear Country. Ukrainian troops have been steadily losing ground to the Bear forces over the course of 2025 and struggle to replenish their ranks. After months of uncertainty over sleeping giant commitments, the U.S. Commander-in-Chief said in July that any additional equipments delivered to Ukraine would be paid by NATO members in Europe. Well, that answers our question. Who's going to pay for it? Well, it will be paid by, there you go, Ukraine's key European backers, including France and Germany, are increasingly pushing for further weapons deliveries as part of a security guarantees to be provided to Ukraine after the end of the biblical war. The Bear, however, maintains the Western military aid is an obstacle to reaching a peace deal. Okay, so give me a second here, guys. All right, so this is gonna be all of it, but I do have some more information I want to bring to you guys. And if you can, please share the video. But we are definitely seeing nation against nation building up here. So I want to bring this up. And I did mention it, but I want to share it here. I did mention it over my other channel, but I just want to bring this up really quick. So it seems like this cease plan stuff is not even working the way it's supposed to. You have the bear, you have Russia, you have certain people in the bear country saying that Zelensky not legitimate to sign a deal. He's just not there. We need someone that who is actually a true leader. Zelensky's term has already been passed in 2024, and he's still leader due to martial law. The bear is saying we don't recognize that. He got to go. He got to go. If we're gonna end this biblical war, we need a leader here. Zelensky, his term is up. Legitimacy is another matter. The issue of who is going to sign the deal on Ukrainian side is a very serious issue. When we come to a stage when you have to sign documents, we would need a very clear understanding by everybody that the person who is signing is legitimate. According to the Ukrainian constitution, Mr. Z, it's not at the moment. Basically, this saying Z is not the president. Someone else needs to be the president. So I want to bring this one up too. So the bear recognizes Z as a de facto head. We recognize Z as the de facto or head of the regime, and this is in this capacity we are ready to meet with him. Give me a second here. Okay, so that was back in August. All right, so I'm just gonna skip that one. But today the bear said that that Z is not legitimate. He's basically not the leader. They need someone that is a leader. All right, so once again, Kiev Post just shared this. Whoa, hold on, give me a second. Hold on, wait a minute. U.S. Commander-in-Chief suspends deliveries of Patriot missiles and other U.S. weapons due to low stockpile. I mean, again, what do you expect? This war has been going on for almost 3.5 years. The halt affects not only Patriot missile, but also GMLRS, Hellfires, and Howitzer shells. I mean, Joe gave them a whole bunch. I mean, no more equipments to Ukraine. That's it. Enough is enough. It goes to tell you that we coming to an end. I mean, this needs to come to an end. I mean, what's next? Nuclear? All right, guys, and it seems like I want to bring this one up too. So the Institute for the Study of War has assessed that the bear is escalating its campaign of GPS and communication jamming across NATO's eastern front, including in countries like Estonia, Finland, Latvia, Lithuania, Poland, and Sweden, as well as others on or near the Baltic Sea. Concerns have been raised to International Transport Organization over sharp increases in GPS and signal jamming and spoofing in recent months, as well as an increase and the Bear electronic warfare installation deployed to the border with countries bordering both Western Russia and Kaliningrad. All right, so you got some. There was a blackout too, if I'm not mistaken. There was some kind of blackout, lights out, somewhere. I don't think it's. I think it's one of NATO members. I don't know which one it was. All right, so this is all the information so far, guys, when it comes to Ukraine and Russia. So yeah, this is all the information here, guys. And check out the video I posted today. The links will be in the description box. So the Bear got hit. The oil facility got hit. Alright, so it was a Moscow reported. And also Yemen, they got hit. I mean, they got hit hard. The presidential palace, grid, I mean, they got hit really hard. So today, nation against nation is really hitting the fan. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Again, for those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.